I'm Howard Rodman, screenwriter, former president of the Writers Guild of America West. I'd like to start by giving thanks to the festival for this panel, and to Radu and Najwa for the kind invitation to join you, to my fellow panelists in Venice, and to my fellow virtual panelists, Cedric Clapiche and Marco Bellocchio, whom I'm especially honored to share this with. Fist in the Pocket is one of those films that made me want to make films. And of course, I'd like to thank the European guilds and unions and organizations, notably l'ARP, SRF, FSE, the International Alliance of Writers Guilds, who have been unstinting in their solidarity. Our struggle is your struggle, but also your struggle is ours. We will have your backs as you now have ours. In internationalizing the industry, the global streamers have, as a byproduct they certainly didn't intend, internationalized solidarity. On July 14th, writers from more than 30 countries, from Sweden to Australia, demonstrated in this common cause. Writers are united in the goal of fixing a broken system, ensuring that we share in the success that our work creates, and of equal importance, making sure that the work we do matters, reaching the minds and hearts of an audience, not simply satisfying the requisites of an algorithm. As such, we are fighting not only for the survival of our profession, but for the survival of the notion that cinematic storytelling is vital to our culture. So much of the industry seems to operate on the model of William S. Burroughs' description of the heroin trade. Don't improve the product, degrade the buyer. We remember something that our employers tend to forget. If when you have finished watching a film, if you're the same person you were when you entered the theater, we have failed you. I suspect many, if not all of you, are familiar with Godard's adaptation of Moravia's novel, known in France as Le Mépris, in America as Contempt, in Italy as Il Disprezzo. We know what it is like to be Michel Piccoli writing a screenplay for Jack Palance. In that film, the studio has written on the screening room wall a quote from Lumière: "The cinema is an invention without a future." It is our job as authors for the screen to make sure it does have a future, despite the disruptions of the corporate owners. At the end of the day, this is our struggle. We know that what we do as writers and filmmakers is to create a value for ourselves, for our employers, for our communities, and for the world. To the media conglomerates and the global streamers, what we do is simply a cost. Only one of these worldviews can survive. And we, writers and actors, will stay on strike, walking in circles around the studios every morning until they're persuaded. The audience understands this. Yesterday, a poll showed that 72% of the American public supported the writers, 67% supported the actors. The companies are quite simply on the wrong side of history. I've talked about the internationalization of both the industry and those who work within it, but as an American, I feel I must acknowledge that these multinational conglomerates, Netflix, Warner Brothers, Discovery, Amazon, Apple, Comcast, and the like, are headquartered in America. And thus the American guilds, the American film workers, bear a particular responsibility to repair what the companies have shattered. Acknowledging that responsibility, I'd like to close by quoting Sergio Leone. "In my childhood, America was like a religion. Then real-life Americans abruptly entered my life in jeeps and upset all my dreams. I admired the Americans on the screen a lot, their style, their way of speaking, their way of wearing hats. But after a while, I began to realize that America is really the property of the world. America was something dreamed by philosophers, vagabonds, and the wretched of the earth long before it was discovered by Spanish ships and populated by colonizers of the world. The Americans have only rented it temporarily, and if their movies don't work, if they don't behave well, then the contract can always be withheld. We can evict them or discover another America." We are, all of us, on that voyage together. Thank you.